Hey everybody, it's Rebecca here. Thank you so much for joining me for another Sims 4 speed build. In today's video, this is my second in what I'm planning to be a 4-part Halloween series, and I am building a suburban Halloween house party home. So I'm essentially just building a suburban house that has been decorated to the max for a Halloween party. And I'm really happy with how this build came out. It is something that I ended up having so much fun decorating, and once I get the lighting in there and everything like that, and it's nighttime, it's so cute and cozy and kitschy. I just really enjoyed doing this build. And if you watched my last video, you might already know this, but I mentioned there that I'm not really the biggest Halloween person. I'm definitely more of a Winterfest girl, but this ended up being really fun to build, and I've really just been in the mood for Halloween this year, so it's really fun. And yeah, a joy to decorate because we have some really great items, obviously from the seasons pack where you can have a spooky day, and then there's also the spooky day stuff pack, which might not even be what it's called. I keep forgetting what that kit is called. It's so old now, but has some really fantastic items in it, as well as some great costumes. So if you are a fan of Halloween and you don't have that pack, I would recommend that you get it. I think it's definitely worth it. But to speak a little bit about the house itself, as you can see, it is a beige craftsman suburban house, and we are building in sand sequoia, where it fits very perfectly. I'm using some windows from Get Famous on the front of the house. And if you're familiar with North American suburban homes, you probably already know that in a lot of these subdevelopments in the front of the house, they will have like really not fancy, but definitely more detailed windows. And then in the back, they will have really plain windows. And I do build quite a few suburban homes in The Sims, actually. Haven't seen any on the channel yet, but perhaps likely we will see more from me on this channel. But there are quite a few on my gallery if you want to check those out. But I really enjoy building suburban homes. For some reason, it's a bit of like a comfort build for me. They're really easy and predictable, and yeah, I think they can just be really fun to build, and there's something about just adding carpet, which I can't stand, and having these really like sometimes ridiculous, nonsensical layouts, and playing with like some of the trends that you see in suburban developments can just be really fun and interesting. So yeah, I do enjoy doing those types of builds. And yeah, the roofing, again, this is a craftsman style house, so I did have roofing earlier. I just had to get rid of it. It just wasn't right. It can be really hard to get craftsman style roofing looking good. But if you layer some of the roofing like I did here, it can look right. I think sometimes you just have to commit to it and go for it. I did find that I was getting frustrated because it wasn't looking exactly the way that I wanted to, but when I stepped away and came back to this build, I was like, no, that looks totally fine and pretty realistic too. I wasn't using any reference images for this build, but I did live in the suburbs for a little bit when I was in high school, so I have some suburban experience, and I also just like really love houses, and of course I had a lot of friends who lived in the suburbs as well, so I am pulling a lot from my experiences and from visiting my friends' houses. And yeah, there will be some elements in this home that are inspired by the house that I lived in for a couple of years as well. But for what's in the house, it is a 5-bedroom home. It has 4 bathrooms. There are 4 bedrooms upstairs, including the primary suite, which has an ensuite. And then the other 3 bedrooms upstairs share a bathroom. On the first floor, there is a guest bedroom right behind the garage, which also has an ensuite. And then there is a powder room near the front entrance. And the guest suite can also be like a granny suite, so this house can fit quite a few Sims if you'd like it to. And even though I decorated this home for a Halloween party, I do also have a version of this home that isn't decorated, that is just furnished normally, so you can just move your Sims in immediately without any Halloween decorations. So both of those will be available both on my gallery, and if you prefer tray file downloads, those will also be on my Patreon. All of that will be linked in the description below. And I do want to state that even though all of my Patreon downloads are always free and public, if you would like a way to support me and this channel, I do everything for free and share all of my uploads for free. There is a general support tier. You absolutely don't have to join it if you don't want to, but it is there if you are looking for a way to support. And I do want to thank everyone that has already joined my Patreon. I really appreciate you guys, as well as those of you who have, of course, subscribed and been liking and commenting on my videos. I am a brand new channel. I've only been doing this for a couple of months, so all of your engagement really helps and makes a difference. And yeah, if you've been commenting and liking, I see you. Thank you. I really appreciate you. But yeah, let's get back to what is on screen here. This is the kitchen. We're going for a dark kitchen. I will also be doing a bit of a backsplash from the Growing Together pack, and all the appliances are going to be from the Cool Kitchen pack. That's also a much older pack. I think it came out at around the time that the Spooky Stuff pack came out as well. But I do love Cool Kitchen. I use the sink and the refrigerator from that pack all the time. So for me, it's a very essential kit. I'm a really big fan of it. I think it has like the standard look that I really like. The stove I don't like as much, but I decided to use it since I was going ahead and using the pack for the build. Of course, it fits very, very nicely with the rest of the appliances, but I think it just doesn't look as realistic as like the fridge, for example. So that's why I don't use it as much. But here we're finally getting into some of the decorations. So you're going to start getting a gist of what this home is going to look like. I had so much fun decorating, especially once I turned it into night mode and we've got all the lighting and I start doing bespoke lighting throughout the house. Like, this home turns out so much better than I thought it would, and I am really happy with the vibe that I managed to capture. It makes me want to play in it. I hope it makes you want to play in it. If you do download this and throw a party with your Sims, I would really love to see it. So I am on Tumblr. I've got the same username as I do here on YouTube. If you tag me in a post, I will see it. I would absolutely love to see what your Sims are going to be up to if they are partying in this house, or even if you move your Sims in here just to live here. I'd really like to see it. So please feel free to tag me and I will definitely take a look at that. But yeah, we've got a mix of seasons and spooky stuff out here in the front. I think the ghost lights are from the Spooky Stuff pack, and I'm just customizing the lighting on those so that they have a couple of different colors. So we've got some lime green and purple ghosts, as well as some white ones. There are some items from that pack that crossed over into seasons, which is kind of interesting. I don't really know why they did that. It's kind of a bummer that they reuse those items, but the pumpkin light, which I've put in the front of the living room that you can see from the street, which I thought was kind of cute, as well as the gravestone lights. Those are in both packs. So I don't know which ones I ended up using, but of course you will need both packs for most of the decorations in this home. The rugs are also from the Spooky Stuff pack. And those inflatable chairs, those are from that time travel event that we had a couple of months ago. So They're not essential for the build, but if you had those items, then that is where those are coming from. And then, of course, the Party Essentials kit. I use that very heavily in this build as well. It's really helpful that the kit has orange, black, and purple swatches, so it makes it very easy to create like a very nice Halloween themed party. The streamers I just put up, those are from Seasons, and I used those throughout the first floor. And yeah, I also decided, you might have noticed that I was placing some furniture in the garage. So the idea I had for this build was that I would be putting out a lot of like party furnishings into the living room and the dining room area. And then I put all the normal furniture that the family doesn't want to get dirty or stained or whatever into the garage. And then after I made this build, I decorated the home just in a normal suburban way. And I used some of the furniture that I placed in the garage to furnish that. So I really like doing that. I thought it added a little bit extra storytelling to the home. And of course, if you needed more furniture somehow for the party, you can always pull from the garage and place those around the lot. If you need more seating for your Sims. I also decided to put out a little performing station thing, the busking station. That comes from City Living. You don't need it for the party, but it is a cool place if you want to hire an entertainer, and that way you can have somebody like playing guitar during the party. And the shredded curtains. I don't know why I went for shredded, tattered. My English is just completely failing today. Those are also from the Spooky Stuff kit, and they come in some very fantastic, like kitschy Halloween party colors. So they've got like purple, lime green, and orange. So I used those throughout the first floor as well. Here on screen, this is the guest bathroom. So this is where the guest suite is. It is behind the garage, like I said, and next to the kitchen. I did manage to cut out all the footage of me decorating the bedroom portion of this, but it is very generic and not too different from the primary suite, which we will see being furnished on screen. And then this right here, this is the primary suite bathroom. And this is a pretty standard layout that I use for a lot of my suburban builds, but I haven't used that jet tub before, so I really enjoyed putting that one in there. This bathroom was the perfect size to fit that, and the layout of the bathroom to the closet was actually inspired by the house that I lived in when I was in high school. That was a suburban home, and in the primary suite, you had to walk through the bathroom to get to the closet in the back. So that was my inspiration for that. So I am pulling from real life for that one. And of course, I'm using Dream Home Decorator to create the built-in closets, which I think I use the white swatch of the Dream Home Decorator shelves in most of my suburban builds. Because they're just such a nice go-to, and they do kind of fit perfectly for that theme. And so this is the bedroom portion of the primary suite. It's very brown. It's very generic. These are items and swatches that I don't use all that often, but they definitely fit the bedroom pretty well. And as you can see, I'm also just like doing so much custom lighting work in this house on the first floor. I'm dimming up the kitchen. I think the kitchen lights and the ceiling lights in the living room, they're completely turned off, and I'm just relying on like lamps and table lamps and things like that to provide the party lighting for those areas. And then out here we've got a little movie viewing setup. I'm using the projector TV from the movie Hangout pack. And And then we are using the rug from the Little Campers kit, which is really cute. And we're just adding some nice seating, which is the inflatable furniture from that event from a couple of months ago, beanbag from high school years. And then I use a lot of the foldable chairs from, I think it's City Living. I'm getting a little bit confused now. I know For Rent had some outdoor chairs too, and I think I used those as well. But yeah, just some typical outdoor seating there. And then the kitchen, we've got a couple more things from Cool Kitchen. So the ice cream maker, I decided to place that in there if you want to make some ice cream for the party. We've got some decorations from the Party Essentials kit. And then of course, you can't have a Suburban build without light swatches everywhere. I think I said swatches. I meant switches. There's swatches for the switches. I don't have footage of myself placing them everywhere, but they are placed throughout the house. And those are from the bathroom clutter kit. And I decided to use those instead of the base game ones because I really like the glowing dimmer one. I like it. It looks really nice. And then you might have just noticed me placing a little rug underneath the houseplant that's in the primary suite. I used to do this all the time in my previous builds, especially when I was playing The Sims 3. I would always make sure to put a little plate or like a rug that's supposed to be a plate underneath my houseplants, like the ones that are freestanding, since that's what you would have in real life. And not all of them in the catalog have that. And so I used to always love putting that little feature there. And I just remembered it while I was building, so I decided to add that. And you can see that these are the kids' rooms on the second floor. They are pretty generic. I just went for a kids' room and then 2 teenage rooms. Of course, you could have preteens in here too if you'd like. But the furnishings and the decorations are like very themed and simple. So the bedroom we're seeing right now, this is for a teenager who likes music. This here is for a teenager that likes sports. And whenever I do like a sports themed teens bedroom, it's always like every single sport, because you'll have like the soccer poster and the football poster and the basketball and, you know, skateboards. So very, very generic. And then the youngest kid, they like the color green. So those are the personalities of the kids who maybe live here. But yeah, that's, you know, very subject to change if you are playing in it yourself, and you can definitely customize that a little bit further. But yeah, this is, like I said, this was a really fun build to do, and it was really fun imagining the kind of gameplay that you could do in here. There's also a lot that you could, you know, just throw a party in. You don't have to have a sim live here. You can just turn into like a lot type where you can throw the party here, make a mess of it, and not worry about who actually lives here. I haven't play tested it yet for a party, but everything else should be accessible just normally. And I might have already said this earlier, but if you do any gameplay, I'd really like to see it. I think I'm gonna make some Sims later this week for this home in their Halloween costumes. I didn't for the screenshots. I just didn't have time to make Sims like that. But yeah, I'm kind of excited to make some Halloween Sims. And I think I might have mentioned this before, but I definitely mentioned it in my last video, but I am doing a Halloween series. So this is number 2 of 4. I'm planning on putting out a video like 1 per week until Halloween. That is kind of like Halloween themed. So I've got another build that I'm working on that's really large, and I think that'll probably be the last one to come out. And then I have another one that's planned that I'm working on for the next week that should be coming out sometime next week. But they're not going to be as like thematic as this one. They are more focused on occults. But I think this might be like my favorite, even though I haven't finished the other one so far. So I've had 3 either in the works or finished, and this was definitely like the most fun to do. I guess part of that is because this is like very fun and easy to build, like a suburban house, but also I love the lighting. I love doing the custom lighting and making it feel like really cozy and cool. And yeah, sorry for the spiders. If you're not a fan of spiders, we're about to see some spiders on the walls, so I'm placing those all around. I think those are from the spooky stuff pack as well. And I'm just using tool mod to rotate them a little bit so that they look a little bit more like they're crawling on the wall instead of just being like straight up and down. And then I also decided to add some decals to the windows so you can see again from the sidewalk. So if you were trick-or-treating, you would see the front of this house, and every single window has like something cool and spooky in it, and all of them have like custom Halloween lighting, which I really liked. And then this on screen here, this is the bonus room, and it's just a very generic bonus room. But this is where the TV is in the house. And then we've got a couple of items for the kids to play with. And I think I add some instruments up there later too. I can't really remember all that well. But yeah, that might be a little bit annoying if you throw a party here, because the guests might go up to the bonus room to watch TV. So it might be a good idea to either lock the door or get rid of the door, or just get rid of the items that'll pull the Sims up to that part of the house if you don't want them to go there. But yeah, I would really like to hear what you think of a home like this, or if this is something similar to what you've grown up with, or if you're a big fan of Halloween and this seems like a cool place to go. Please let me know. Really, really like to hear what you think. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say about the build other than it was really fun to do. And it also makes me really excited to do like a couple of Winterfest themed ones. I'm not sure what I'll do for October or for November. I'm thinking maybe I'll just do a bunch of like fall themed builds and stuff like that. I already have such a like backlog of builds that I'm working on. I have so many works in progress builds right now, like including things that I've been recording and then I just haven't worked on it for like weeks. So there are so many half-finished things for my save file and in my videos folder right now that I don't even know which ones I want to finish. I'm really just trying to focus on like the things that are fun for me. I don't want to make this feel like, you know, I feel obligated to do one thing or the other. So you'll just see whatever I'm having fun with come out on the channel. So hopefully that's fun for you. But I really appreciate you watching to the end. Enjoy the screenshots and let me know what you think. I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone.